Welcome to the Blaize interview. My name is Blaize, and this is
Ephie Lowinger. Are we online now?
No, we're not online right now, so we're just recording. We're just recording because I have to fix the audio. Because the way it's set up, because as you can see on here, the screen, it's a half second slower.
What I mean is, are we sound testing or?
No, we're good. We're good online.
Or is this where we are? This is what's going to be.
Yeah, this is live.
This is fascinating for people too. Oh, what is the name of this podcast?
Blaize interviews. It's on the Blaize Shirt Pod.
Are you sure you don't want to rename it Apple Juice and Puppies?
Apple Juice and Puppies.
Apple Juice and Puppies is pretty good. We got puppy here, apple juice here.
Martin Alley's. I love that shit. I've been drinking that shit since I was a little kid. I ain't gonna lie.
But it's really great. It's the champagne of children.
Isn't grape juice the shit? Oh no, champagne.
No. Grape juice is a hard liquor of children.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hard liquor of children, and sugar is the cocaine of children, and they put cocaine in the hard liquor for children, which is grape juice. But apple juice is just it's the classy kids
champagne.
drink.
Okay. Okay. I will say this. The thing is, like in high school, because I was in football, wrestling, and track, so every time I was conditioning, when I was getting tired, the first thing I would think about was just getting a nice, cool, like Martin Alley's, like the bottles, cracking it open, the fresh, crisp apple juice is.
Wow, yeah, if you would have been a professional athlete, you would have been in commercials for sure. When I have a tough day at the track, I like to pop open a good bottle of Martinelli's.
You make me sound like Forrest Gump.
Well, if you were a professional athlete, you would have been. That's
Thank you. I have a voice for it. No, so one of the things I always like to ask people is, how did you get started in comedy?
How did I get started in comedy? First off, I just want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
This is a comedy podcast.
Yeah, comedy podcast. We talk about comedy, but we also talk like with rappers, producers. So it's like, but it's just mainly comedy.
It's good because what I've noticed, and tell me if you agree, when you get together with comics, they have this problem where all they fucking talk about is comedy, like only comedy. Now, this is a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to focus, especially with people.
But do you notice that when you're with comedians, it's kind of like, okay, can we talk about something else? Can we talk about... No, but here's the place to do it.
Yes.
I'm all for that. My comedy journey has only been around 5 years.
Nice.
But it's existed over 4 different decades.
4 different... So, 1 year... I'm trying to do the math, so 4 years...
I'll tell you what it was. No, it's a little over 5 years. What happened was, I started comedy when I was 19 years old.
Nice.
In New York, back when Osama bin Laden was only planning the World Trade bombing.
Okay.
So, it was back in 1998.
Okay.
I'm a very old man. So I did comedy in New York for like 3 years. I dropped out because, I don't know, I got into music and cocaine and marriage. It wasn't good for comedy. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do comedy again until 2010.
Okay.
When I was at a friend of a friend had a comedy show, and I stopped by, and the comics there, shockingly, even though it's been 10 years, like, all the comics who were on the show happened to be people that I did comedy with 10 years ago, and they were talking to me, and I was like in the comic section, whatever, and the host of the show was like, "Dude, you're a comic?" Because he knew me as a musician.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I haven't done it for a while. I'd love to, get back in the game because you know what it was, and it's shower comedy."
Shower comedy.
Yeah, because when you don't do comedy, you're taking a shower and you think of something really funny, and you just gotta put it in your dick, It's like, you're like,
I never heard that term before.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna go massage this out and turn it into a bit. For what? I don't do comedy. But so you really want the shower. You want to be able to finish the shower, jack off, and then say, okay, how do I turn this into a bit?
Yeah.
Instead of just something that made me laugh in the shower while I was jacking off. So yeah. So I did his show, the next show, and it went really well. It was fun because I had all the stage experience.
Yeah.
With music. Over the last 10 years, I felt so much more comfortable on stage. And because this wasn't something I took nearly as seriously as I did when all I had was comedy 10 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to have fun with it. And so I had a lot of fun with it. And I did it for like a few months,
3-4 months.
3-4 months. And then I always had this weird relationship with comedy. I love it. It's, when you compare comedy to music.
Yes.
And the performance of each one. Music, you work on a song, you have your song, you play your song.
Mm-hmm.
While you're playing your song, you are not thinking about whether the audience likes it or not. It doesn't matter.
That's fair. That's true.
When the song's over, people clap. You don't know if they clap because they like it or if they clap because it's
being
just a
polite
thing to do. Right. You don't know. And then you go on to the next song because you're here to play your song complete, start to end. It doesn't matter if the audience like, we don't like that part of the song. You're like, oh, fuck you. That's the song. Like, you know, comedy is different because every minute you're like, I hope you like this. I hope you like this. I hope you like this. And obviously, you know, as comics, we have to get over that.
Yeah.
We have to like them. No, I'm going to pretend I don't give a shit if you like this.
Yeah.
So it's which makes it more challenging and more tempting and more exotic but also, a lot on the fucking brain when you're trying to train your ego to not be fucking, can I say retarded?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the ego.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a person. The point is, so I think I basically I scratched the itch and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2020 I came in to LA
Mm-hmm.
to sober up.
LA's the best place to sober up.
The best place to do it. And I was in rehab for 4 months. I ended up being sober for 2020.
Nice. Hard.
Well, yeah, it was hard, but Corona made it easier.
Really?
Because you're not going out anyway.
Mm.
It's like, you know, so yeah, you can stay in. And things, well, the first 4 months I was in rehab.
Okay.
So, good drink if I wanted to.
Yeah, okay.
Then I got out and I met a comic. We started going out. And I didn't know anybody in LA. So basically, her friends were the only people that I had any kind of, well, became my friends. So all of my friends, my entire social circle was comics, you know? And it's like I say, like, you know, if she would have, if her and her friends would have been coke addicts, I probably would have got back into that. You know? But
Okay.
it was like a sweet siren calling my name again.
Okay.
And I said, I gotta do this. I gotta get back into it. And I really found a different experience in LA
Versus New York?
versus New York. And this is partially because of LA, but partially because I changed as a person.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, once you sober up, you're a huge different
Yeah.
person. You have different habits. You have different tendencies.
Yeah, and even now that I drink again, it's different than the 20 years before that, where it was like, oh, I gotta drink every day. You know, it's more like, oh, like I've had 13 drinks this month.
No.
I keep count. That's my new rule.
Okay.
I
You keep
keep
keep it per month, or you keep it for the week, or how do you?
month. I just per month. I'd say how many drinks have I had per month. I think my tops in the last 2 years was 33. That was a heavy month.
Okay. I mean, let's say that's, you know,
A little over a drink a
your
day.
day. Yeah, a little over a drink a day, but you know, one day you have 4 or 5. You know.
Yeah, that's
4th of July weekend. You know,
exactly.
I don't know, party, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, go on.
But I found this time it wasn't about just going and doing comedy. It was about becoming part of a community.
Mm.
And that was something I never did. I'd been antisocial like that.
Yeah.
I would just go to shows and then I'd get off, and if there was a girl at the show that liked me, I'd go home with her. Otherwise, I'd go to another bar and drink alone.
Mm.
And I was friendly with people,
Yeah.
but I didn't become friends with anybody, and I would never go to just hang out, you know, with other comics. I just wouldn't do it. Maybe because they talk about comedy all the fucking time.
It's like, bro, you know about this show? You know about that show?
Yeah.
Oh, what about this set, man? How do you think about that set I did?
Yeah.
I get that.
Oh, no, this guy sucks, but he's really more successful than me. He must suck.
Yeah.
But this person's a god. And I'm like, this person doesn't
But
suck.
now you
and
start
this
hanging
person
out with more comics, and you've become more friends with comics. I mean, I have my own circle of groups that I hang out with, and we just hang out. Like one of my friends is Tyler Diberito, whatever he says his last name. Like we just hang out, and we just sometimes we won't even go to Mike's. We'll just hang out. Like one day we just went to a fucking Korean spa, and we're just like, all right, fuck it. We went to the K spa and just like fucking just was in there, went through all the rooms, sauna and shit, fucking bathed, and we just made it a fucking just hanging out. And the other thing I feel like I like about, like, you know, you have to make a community, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, it feels like kind of just weird.
Yeah, and it's a difficult thing.
Yeah. It's
a difficult thing because as much as LA has a better community aspect, comedy-wise, comedians, they're damaged and envious, bitter people.
I would say the one thing that's hard for me to get over is always getting over that inner jealousy. You know what I mean? Inner jealousy.
And I like how you said it because I meant it also. When I say that, I don't mean other comedians. I mean all of us.
All of us. I have it too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say there's some people here I hate, some people here I don't. You know what I mean? And there's some people who are like, it's okay, buddy. You can do better. It's all right. No, it's okay. You know, it's what it is. And like, I know I have my own jealous tendency for others, and like I want to, you know, if we all want to be the best, right? Yeah. You want to be the best. I want to be the funniest guy in the room. We all want to be the funniest guy or girl in the room. Don't matter. It's just like it's just our inner jealousy, and it's hard.
And we see a friend of ours go up right before us and kill, and we're really happy for them. And then we're also like, fuck, why wasn't that me? I gotta follow that now.
I appreciate that, though, because honestly, I feel like, personally, if I were to give myself a strength in comedy, I feel my personal strength is being more of an opener, or like open the whole thing, a host, or even best is like the guy before the headliner. Mm-hmm. So kind of like
a feature,
a feature like a puff. I feel like more of a puffer. You know what I mean? Like fluffer. I feel like a fluffer kind of guy. You know
it's like doing it, Scott, get him hard and ready to come.
Yeah, get them ready hard, and then like the comic is out there, the crowd's warm, they're ready. It's like, hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah, the problem is going up after they already came.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you want to cuddle? And they're like, no, we want to go to sleep. Go fuck it.
No, because I feel like I have a good, because there's different comics. Some comics are a lot more, you know, not as, I'm very high energy. You're not as high of energy than me, but you got some good energy.
I got some energy. Yeah.
But most of your sets, like, you're like, when, you know who Jimmy Drexler is? I always bring him up.
No.
No, he's a great comic, but he does a lot of dark humor, and his tone isn't like high. He's like, ba-da, ba-da, ba-da,
right.
Ba-da, ba-da. Yeah. Like it's a cadence kind of thing, but like
I don't do that, and I don't do the really excited. I'm more in general with everything. With music, I also veer this way, where I want like every word to be heard. I think I'm a middle child. I need to be heard, and no, I need everything to be heard. So I don't want to say it in too much any tone. I say these are my words. Listen to my words. You know, I'm gonna tell you. So I think that's the way I do it. I stay pretty mid energy, but then roast battle is the ultimate example.
I suck at roasting. I suck at roasting.
How many times have you done it?
Huh? I've done it 3 times. Actually, no, I've done it like 5-6 times. Because I've also done it. There's another one. Patrick Bowe. He does this. It's kind of like a popcorn rap battle / thing, where what he does is he just picks 2 names out of the hat, and like you go one joke.
Oh, and like joke. So you're not prepared. You don't know who you're battling.
You don't know who you're battling, but you
can't even write for it.
But you kind of know who's going to be there because there's a recurring roster, and people are always going and going. So you know who's kind of going to be there. So you can kind of plan for people, but it's also kind of like trying to get the creative juices flowing. So you have your things, but you don't know who you're going against.
That sounds hard. But what about battles you get to write for?
I've done through 3 of those. So now
Any at the store?
No. But I've only done the Los Digits, Nos Llores at the Haha. I prefer the Haha over the store.
Of course, because the store is going to make you piss out of your anus. It's nerve-wracking.
I feel like not going on stage. I just don't like it because of A, the parking, and B, just like the inner politics and the inner things about being at the store that you'll hear about. Like the first time you go there, it's like, oh, hey, oh, and then you're like, as you go there, like, oh, hey, oh.
That's actually a perfect description. If you've been there as a comic like we have, what you said made perfect sense. Mm-hmm. It is. But it's also a really good check. Comedy, roast battle, and this community being in it is a really good check. Personally, on the ego, because the ego controls us all.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need it to stop being sneaky and just be so out there ridiculous that you're like, wait a minute. You know, like I remember the biggest moment for me when I checked myself and realized, oh, Ephie, you can't keep doing roast battle unless you get some perspective. Mm-hmm. It was early on I was starting, and there's another person on stage who had a battle. I was just watching. Mm-hmm. And the judges were telling this guy, oh, you just started, but you're doing really well. I think that was a great battle. And they were complimenting him. And I felt like they were insulting me. And it made no sense. It made no sense. This person who I like was getting commented. And my ego was like, no, they're disrespecting me. And I said, whoa, ego.
Yeah. I get that.
Are you going to do this? Are we going to do this? Because if we're going to do this, you got to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, you got to give people props. And that's the thing is, like, you have to realize, like, just be happy for your friends. You know what I mean? Just be happy for them. Because you want them to be happy for you. You know what I mean?
No, and how could we not be happy when we are in a position to understand how much it means?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
We know how great it would be
to get those compliments, because it's hard. Because I've been up there and they shitted the fuck off.
Oh yeah, no, that you have to be ready for that.
Yeah, and you stand there and you just smile and just like, okay.
That's their job. Listen, unless you kill it, they're gonna piss on you, and if you kill it, they're probably gonna piss on you anyway. Personally, but it's not the roast battle.
As they should.
As they should. That's their job. But no, it's definitely an interesting dynamic. Being a comedian is a good way. If you're ready to use all the uncomfortable feelings to help make yourself a better person, I think it really can.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, it's like I did comedy at my old rehab.
Oh, nice. How was that? Do you see people that you remember?
Well, the staff, yeah.
Oh, just the staff.
The turnover in the customers is pretty
rapid.
Pretty rapid.
Every 6 months.
Yeah, but I told him, I said, listen, being an alcoholic and being a comedian are the same. The difference is that you use drugs and alcohol to hide from your issues, and comedians use humor and drugs and alcohol. So we're a fucked up group of people.
Yeah, a lot of former rehab patients in comedy.
Yeah, and more future ones.
Yeah, more future ones. I'm probably going to be there soon. Don't worry.
Congratulations.
I'm still young.
Congratulations on your future decision.
Don't worry, I'll have you give me my first chip. That's all good. But so how did you transition from that music to comedy when you did that? Like,
well, I haven't stopped doing music. Well, since we're on a podcast, my album "Who Am I" is on Spotify.
Oh, nice.
It kicks ass. Ephie Lowinger, Ephie. Check it out. No, I'm still doing music. I actually played keyboard for the roast battle band at Jam in the Van. I sat in for the band leader, who also happens to be my producer.
Nice.
Yeah, and next month I'm going to be battling there, so that was just a fun, yeah, it's and it's I've been trying to combine the two in some ways. Not getting up there with a little keyboard. I'm not gonna, when I just stand up, I'm not gonna do that.
You're not gonna be one of those guys?
No, I'm not gonna be one of those guys.
Ah, come on! I bet you in like 3 years you're gonna do it. You're gonna be one of those guys.
I'll sell out eventually.
You'll sell out. You're gonna be over there with the overalls and shit.
The overalls and the accordion strap.
Yes.
Lucy, you're gonna do that with me? You're gonna wear a little monkey hat while I play the accordion? Yeah, Lucy. Yeah, you're gonna. She's gonna do it.
She'll look good
while you're in rehab.
You'll take care of her.
She's gonna be my accordion monkey.
Yeah.
You're gonna be my accordion.
It's funny. It's I take her on stage sometimes, and people like lose their fucking minds. Like I'll take her to mics, and when I take her to mics, like usually most of the mics, like especially if I go to fourth wall, I just let her off the leash, and so sometimes she'll just stand on stage with the comics, and some comics, a lot of the comics love it. They're like, "What the fuck?"
A lot of the comics love it, and a lot of the comics are like, "Okay, this is fucking up my shit."
Yeah.
Right?
One time, I took her to Big Chillin' last year, and this one dude was bombing bad, and we're just like, "Okay, and then Lucy just goes up to him and just stands right next to him, and sits down, and she looks up, and he looks down, and she goes, "It's okay," and just like looks at the crowd. And then I went up like 1 or 2 comics right after him, and I said, "Thank you, my name is Blaize, and this is Lucy, my emotional support dog. She supports bombing artists." So if you're bombing, she'll be there for you. That's why I keep her around for the bombing art. Yeah, it's fun. I take her to a lot of places with me. That's why, especially being here in LA, a lot of people just like, fuck it, bring it in. There's some places like they're like, no dogs allowed. I'm like, okay, I just walk the fuck out.
But she's also looks like a particularly vicious dog.
She's a jealous bitch. She's a jealous bitch.
Did you?
Yeah, she's nice, but she's just jealous against women. I had one girl over and we were cuddling, right? And she gets underneath the blankets in between me. She puts her back against my stomach, all 4 of her paws against the girl's back, pushes her off the way. And she's like, "You gonna do anything?" I was like, "Yeah, help you pack."
Well, did Lucy did she give Lucy attention?
Not really.
Yeah, if she didn't give Lucy attention and then you're giving her attention,
Yeah.
Lucy's like, fuck this bitch. Because Lucy doesn't want her new mommy to be a cunt. You know? If mommy doesn't love me, mommy can't love Blaize. Yeah. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, but I call myself an owner, not a daddy. There's a difference. She's property. She was born on my parents' shop, a truck body shop.
Are you sure though? Are you sure that's how the dynamic works?
Yeah.
She tops from the bottom.
No, but what was I saying? So your music. So talk to me more about your music. So how'd you get into music? What type of music do you play? Like, do you play keyboards mainly?
I play piano, but I didn't start playing piano until I was 28. I was just a singer-songwriter, and through comedy and cocaine, I with some musicians, and I had the songs that I wrote, and I recorded a couple of albums, and then my third album I was recording. Which is also the first that is actually online, because the first couple albums I recorded was before albums. Well, no, we used to have compact discs.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, look at here, my man.
Well, those are records.
There's a little difference.
You're going further back. Yeah. And it was then that I started playing piano, and I already played out like fronting a band, but now I could play out and have something to do with my hands and actually be part of the band.
Yeah.
And when I write songs, I would come to producers instead of just with the lyrics and melody. I come with lyrics, melody, and some form of an arrangement.
Okay.
Which is nice. And then I came to LA.
To make your record, to make it big in records?
No, I came to LA to go to rehab. That's why I came to LA. I came to LA to go.
Are you gonna go back to New York? Or you saying fuck it, I'm here forever?
Oh no! The first day I got to LA, it was December 25th. It was the day before Christmas.
Okay.
2019, and everybody, when I got to rehab, everybody was apologizing to me for the terrible weather.
Huh.
And they were saying, "I'm so sorry. It's usually so much nicer than this." It was 55 degrees. And I was like, I don't think I'm going back to New York. But then when I got out of rehab, it was right in the middle of Corona, and New York was a fucking
wasteland.
Yeah. So I for sure couldn't go then.
Yeah.
And then magically, I actually, in the middle of Corona, when everything was on lockdown, I actually started a relationship, we got a life, and we got friends, and it was just, really worked out very well, to the point where I was like, why the fuck would I go back to New York?
Nice. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I've been in New York once. It was last September. I mean, I landed at midnight 30, and motherfucker, I was already just sweating. I got off the plane sweating. I was like, motherfucker, it's September. And I'm sweating? It's bad. I haven't felt like that since Hawaii, but
yeah, there's autumn in New York is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most beautiful season anywhere. The problem is it lasts about 9 days. That's the entire season. And it goes from fucking like 90 degrees and humid to a gorgeous 9-day autumn to fucking 20 degrees and freezing. And that's it.
That's it. Well, I mean, here in LA, we have, 2 weathers, which is beautiful, gorgeous, and then dark and gloomy like it is today here.
Yeah, but at the same time, everyone says LA doesn't have seasons. This last winter was definitely a season.
I mean, that's the first time that's happened in 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first time it's rained like that. I mean, I remember the last time it rained like that was literally like, it had to have been like 2012. It had been 2012, maybe 2013. Because I was in college and I remember like the whole side of the freeways were flooded. The last time that happened was like around like 08, 07. And where I lived in, I grew up in Diamond Bar, which is just outside of LA. And we had a mudslide, right? A big old mudslide, because the back of my house is all just one big old hill, and just came down. Almost, luckily, it didn't come into the house because we had a swimming pool. So the swimming pool had about like 3 or 5 inches worth of just mud on the whole bottom of it. So yes, we had after that we had to redesign the backyard, so then that way that wouldn't happen again. So.
Yeah, but even forgetting the winter, now it's the spring, and we're having spring weather. It seems like in the summer it's going to be way hotter.
Oh, it's going to be super hot.
Right. So, How is that not seasons?
But it's always just sunny. It's just always sunny.
No.
It's it. It's either sunny or it's like, it's not like we barely get any rain. We barely get any, just this year.
This has been crazy.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I've been here for 3 years, and I know normally winter's not like that.
Yeah.
But obviously it's always going to be sunny or not sunny. That's true everywhere.
I mean, we don't have like fucking sleet. We don't have.
Yeah, here it's more often sunny. The weather's just nicer.
Yeah.
But this whole thing of LA doesn't have seasons. It has seasons.
Yeah.
I know, but based on the clothes I have to wear, even in the previous, I have to have a little jacket. Now I still wear a little leather jacket in the spring.
Yeah.
And a winter coat in the winter. In the fall, I have to wear the leather jacket again. In the summer, I can go out in t-shirts.
The thing is, spring.
That's seasons.
Spring. Pretty much. Well, the thing is in LA, you can pretty much wear cardigans all year round, and you'll be okay.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a cardigan, basically, if you dress like Taylor Swift for half the year, you're okay. So, what type of how did you? But your music and everything. What was your first record? What was it like to produce your first record? How what is it like to navigate the whole
I'll tell you. My first record, I hooked up with these really experienced musicians, Larry Bader, Charlie Torres. These are people who, I mean, I was 22.
And you had to sign a whole record contract? No. So technically you're still independent?
I'm independent. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm independent. I mean, there are no record companies anymore, but back then I was just, I'm terrible at promoting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it. This is the most promotion I've ever done. Say, hey, check out my album. Look me up on Spotify.
Well, yeah, I like to know about these things about people because this is interesting about I never knew that you did music.
Yeah.
Because you didn't talk about it.
Because I don't promote. I don't talk about shit. I'm like, yeah, I do that. I do art for art's sake. But the first album, because I basically started just writing poetry when I was 19, and then some of them turned into songs, and I had all these songs. I didn't think about it. Then I was talking to musicians, and then I said, "Oh, this is really good. We should record these." And I had just stopped doing cocaine. I had a 6-month thing, which kind of fucked up my comedy career. And we went into the studio, and first day we ran down 4 tracks.
No, damn, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, it was full day in the studio, and the 4th track was the first song I ever wrote. It was a very personal song to me called Follow the Light. And I sang in the song, it's like, na na na, I was lost inside the jungle, mining for 18 years. And the guy's like, oh, it's got a little calypso beat, bound, down. I'm like, no. It's a slow, sweet song. I want a minute I told him what I wanted, but he was convinced. He goes, no, you don't understand musically. It's got an island. It's got I'm like, no, that's not what I want for it. But I was so intimidated because these guys were super talented musicians, and I was just a kid with no musical background at all, no anything. Just I wrote songs. That's it. So I was like, let's just call it a day for today. And I was really, so what did I do? I bought some cocaine. And I got high. Now, here's the thing. I've written a lot of things on cocaine. Okay. They're all shit. Everything I've written on cocaine in my life has been shit. Okay. Because you just scrambled? No, because you're an idiot. Everyone's an idiot on cocaine.
But that's when you're like, I'm a fucking genius!
Yeah, at the time, yeah. But no. And then, okay. My phone was buzzing, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure it was an emergency. So
your mother's dead. I'm just kidding.
Dude, yeah. I'm gonna. It's my mother. Holy shit!
I'll pause it.
No, don't pause it. Don't pause it. We'll get this conversation on
the speaker.
No, not on speaker. That's Hi, Mom. How are you? Is everything all right? Well, I'm doing a podcast right now, and the phone was buzzing in my pocket. And I said, my phone's buzzing, but it's probably not an emergency. I'll get back to that after the podcast. And while it's airing, and then he goes, unless it's an emergency, like your mother's dead. I said, what the fuck? And then he starts knocking on wood. And then I pull out the phone. I see it's my mom. I'm like, holy crap. By the way, you're not on speaker right now, but would you like your voice to be on the podcast? No.
Okay, yeah. She's you can't hear her.
Nobody can hear you. They can only hear my side of the thing. So I will call you afterwards. But is everything okay, Mom? I love you, and I want you to be healthy. 3 more hours. Okay, I got you. Thank you so much. I love you, Mom. Stay healthy. Bye.
She sounds like she's goes to bed early.
No. It's I was raised Orthodox, and there's a Jewish holiday tonight.
Oh, is there?
So, back in New York, that Jewish holiday starts in like 3 hours. So she's not gonna be able to talk to me for a few days. So she wants to call.
Oh, okay. So
my mommy loves me.
Yeah. No, it's all good. My mom loves me too. I call my mom.
Your mom loves me. That was crazy. All right.
That's funny.
Hey, knock on the wood a lot.
More wood. Writing for cocaine, writing shit.
So from my mom to cocaine. So I'm sitting there on coke and I'm stressing because I'm like, these people want to take this song that's so emotionally important to me and I want to fuck it up, and they're like very excited about this. And then I start thinking, what if I do this? And I start like singing, I got a thing for my island Lolita. I only hope that tonight I can meet her again. And I start writing this song to the beat that they wanted.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about this, so basically in order to get them off playing that, and the interesting thing about this is I did not speak any Spanish at the time. But I had a line in the song was, I got a thing for my island Lolita. I only hope that tonight I can meet her again. Muy buena es mi mamacita. Ooh. I got a thing for my island Lolita. Yeah. So it was this fun, really fun number that had Spanish lyrics. Yeah. That's the thing. Listen. The one thing I can say about any drug is that what it does is everybody's mind is this big. Yeah. This is the size of everyone's mind. Yeah. Drugs do not expand the mind. Yeah. They move it. You know?
That's a fair point. That's a good point.
So yeah, sure, you can reach all these things you couldn't reach. Also, you can't tie your fucking shoes. You know? Nothing comes for free. You want to move your mind. Cocaine moves your mind to an awful place. But
never done it, so I wouldn't know.
Good, don't. It's honestly, I don't want to be a fucking dork. Right?
Says the guy in the Super Mario shirt, whose mother called him saying. So, yeah.
A little bit. Maybe I want to be. But let's talk about Stargate SG-1. No, but, yeah, don't get me started on that. But the thing is that it will open up parts of the mind. Mm-hmm. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I understood these Spanish lyrics. But I mean, it was basic Spanish.
Very basic.
But still, I really, didn't speak any. So I was like, I didn't know that any of that. I must have seen it on TV once.
Probably.
So I came into the studio. The next day we had a session, and he said, "Oh, we're working on Fall Light." I said, "No, I got a new thing. I bring up that track that you played for Fall Light. I bring it up and I sing that song, and I remember Charlie Torres, who's awesome. He's a bass player, and these guys were so old. They were like 45, which is the age I am now. But
yeah. But you're like, oh fuck, they're old. Now you're that old. You're like, fuck, they're not that old. I got my hair still.
Yeah, and Charlie Torres was like, look at the little Jew boy. Nice. He's like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And they were all excited. He did the song, and I said, and Larry Bader, the producer, I could tell that's when I got their respect, because they were like, oh, this kid doesn't know. He doesn't understand what we're supposed to play for the song. It's like, okay, this kid can not just decide what he wants for the song. This kid can write a song to our style if he wants to, to get us off that. Yeah, so
that's cool. All
right, yeah. So that was nice.
Does it happen a lot that you have to write a song or do something so then that way you can like save a song or something that's close to you or an idea?
Well, I mean now it's a rare time where I don't have full control over what I want in a song. I'm working with a producer, and like Devin Bing, who I work with now, he's amazingly talented. Also the band leader in Roast Battle, but so talented, and I like we have so many conversations and disagreements about songs. But he knows push comes to shove.
Yeah.
He could completely disagree with something, but it's my music. It's like he's gonna go with me because, but sometimes I'm like, so what do you think of this? He goes, what does it matter? What does it matter what I think? I'm like, because I respect your opinion. He goes, oh, okay.
Fine, fair.
I just want to hear it. But it's weird. I mean, I just back in New York, I made money writing songs for people for weddings, anniversaries, bar mitzvahs, stuff like that.
Huh? What do you mean? Well, so what do you mean? Like you usually like so? Let's say like Blaize is marrying Mary Jane, and you got to make a song for us. It's like you got like I come to you and I ask you, can you help me write a song
for Blaize and Lucy's wedding?
Yeah, we'll go with Lucy.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I would love to say something like, you know, Blaize and Lucy, her ass is really juicy. but you would I would do that, and I would like for something like that I would charge like $5,000. That is rare.
Oh fuck.
But what people normally want is they're like, oh, you know what? Me and Lucy, we just really love the song Who Let the Dogs Out. Can you write us a wedding song with our information to the tune of Who Let the Dogs Out?
Ah.
You know? And I'll get $2,000 for that, so that's nice.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just called. I just got a call for. I don't really like do it here. I stopped promoting myself for it because the work is not as rewarding as you'd like because you know the lyrics you're putting together, but there's somebody else's memories in life and whatever.
Yeah.
And that they just can't put it to song structure, and the tune is somebody else's, so you don't really get a lot of the creativity flow. Which I remembered again because I got called from an old client from New York. Actually, my first client, and their parents' 30th anniversary is coming up, and I was very happy to write it for them. Oh, great! So I wrote something, and they're like, "Oh, that's great! We love it." I said, "Cool." And 2 days later, like, "Oh, could you change this and this and this? And this? We have a new direction." And I'm like, "Okay, it's not as good. What you want me to do is not going to be as good as what I gave you, but it's your song, just like Devin with me. It's like you know." And then
I can see how that can get frustrating.
Yeah. And so rewrite, and then finally, like, that's great. This is perfect. Now, could you take the beginnings of each chorus and put in the original line because we love the song so much? I'm like, yeah, but also you could do that. It's like, but sure, you know. But they're very sweet and very nice and give them what they want.
Yeah.
But then you have to dumb it down, and you're like, I gave you something so much better the first time.
I can see how that can get a little frustrating.
But it's great. It was really fun this month to have like started off with that, and then Devin said he's gonna be out of town for Roast Battle. Can I sub for him on the keyboard? Nice throw. And Friday night I'm doing Mullet Time in Pasadena with Bear Bordeaux. I don't know if it'll be Friday night. It won't be Friday night by the time this airs.
No, it'll be after.
Right. So I'm not promoting it. The point is, and they're all like to have music, comedy, and writing gigs, paid gigs. Even though let's be honest, I mean,
comedy is the hardest one to get paid gigs for.
Well, yeah, but also like I mean, I got $100 for playing the music at Roast Battle, and I'm probably gonna get $20 for the gig. So I got $2,120 for the 3 jobs.
Yeah.
It just like, but that's not the point. It's nice to feel like you know, creatively, like that you're doing all the things that you love. And, you know, and I'm working on my next album at the same time. So it's just having to do my podcast with Blaize, or Blaize's podcast with Blaize, which is now called Puppies and Applejack. You know?
No, but, like, so that goes into the first... How many songs were on the first album?
The first album, my first album back in 2000...
So, yeah, so that was...
My first album back in 2000 had 13 songs in it. 13
songs. And why did you... Was there, like, any special, or is that all you can come up with? Like, how does it come into... making the album? How did you pick the songs? How did everything come together?
It started off because I had a list of songs. It started off just with 10 songs, and then once you start working on songs, more songs come. Yeah. And I wanted this, I wanted this, I wanted this, but I still had a backlog, and I made another album. And that time, like, because I'd been writing for a couple of years. Yeah. And so I just got 2 albums out in the first 2 years. Then it was like 3 years at another album, 3 years at that another album. But it wasn't until and it was actually Who Am I? The album I did in LA was an EP. It only had 6 songs on it. The album I'm working on now is going to be a full-length album.
Okay.
You know, even though like nowadays you're really supposed to put less songs on an album.
Well, I actually heard it's different. It's especially with Spotify. So if you want what's his name? Morgan Wallace, the country singer dude. So it was I was watching this other YouTube channel. His name's Jess Buckley, and he broke down how Morgan Wallace has the most quote, most albums sold ever or whatever. And the way he went around it is he has 36 songs on the album. And so you have to listen, if you listen to 30 seconds of a song, that counts as one listen. And you have to have 137 song listens tos for one song to count for an album sale, for one sale of an album. And then you have to count that per. So the more albums you have on a record,
the more songs you have on a record, the more clicks your album's gonna get.
Yeah, because if you just let the album go through versus if you have less songs, then they're gonna go through.
Then you promote songs one by one.
Yeah. So it's this whole algorithm thing that's how much. So the whole thing of actually selling records doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, it's listen. The fact of the matter is though, for somebody who never really promoted his album and never really now with this album. I've gotten 5,000 saves on songs.
Nice.
There's 5,000 people that don't know me have made my song a part of their which is nothing. But for me, I'm 5,000 people.
That's nice.
I've touched 5,000 lives.
Yeah.
Already, that's great.
And probably their friends.
Yeah.
So that's probably closer to 10,000. Just thinking about it.
And I got to touch their children. I taught you, Lucy. I taught you all over.
All right. Oh, that came out left field. That one got me.
That's what I was trying to do.
That one got me.
That was my intention.
What was it?
What was it? You want me to throw? You want me to
throw? Did you have a single? What was your biggest single?
My biggest single is off my last album. It's White Light, Black Light.
White Light, Black Light. Well, how that process of writing the song and producing the song, how that process of making it.
I'll tell you. First of all, when I got out of rehab, and I met Nicole, and I went through this.
You should just call it the institution.
When I was spit out of the machine.
So you met Nicole, and
then I went on this. I just started writing. Sometimes you go through little spurts of 3 weeks, and thankfully that happened a couple of months ago. I just went through 1 month where I wrote 7 songs. And,
nice.
And you're every song I write, this is the best song ever. I love this the most. And so I had that. So so I had the songs, and then my nephews. One of the things that I did, one of my favorite things I've ever done, is my nephews and nieces, and I have a lot of them. My siblings procreate a lot. I come from an Orthodox family. I have 4 siblings, 27 nephews and nieces, 9 great nephews and nieces at this point already.
Damn.
So a lot of my nephews and nieces, when they got bar and bat mitzvah, I wrote them songs.
Oh.
I wrote and recorded them songs. And
that's a lot of fucking songs.
Well, yeah. I didn't get to get everyone. It's just just couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did 8 or 9, and that's how people I eventually got the business, because people who were at those bar bat mitzvahs heard those songs and they're oh my God, can you just sing for my kid? Oh my God, can you just sing for my kid?
Yeah.
Well, so one of my nephews, and again, a lot of my nephews and nieces aren't even 13 or 12. One of my nephews that I wrote a bar mitzvah song for, Yitzi, he became, he started playing piano and he started writing songs, and now he's 25, and his little brother, Max, turned bar mitzvah, and he wrote him a song.
Aww, that's cool.
It is, it's great. Yeah, that's
cool.
That's a wonderful feeling. And he called me and he asked me if I could put down the vocals, if I could lay down the vocals. This was right in the middle of Corona. I didn't know anybody, and at the time I was diagnosed with a polyp in my throat, and I was going to get surgery on that polyp.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, I can do these vocals. So Seth Hirsch, who's a great guy in general and a hip hop artist himself, I asked him if he knows anybody that does vocals, and he recommended Devin Bing. I met Devin, we did the vocals, and I just right away realized I have a very comfortable relationship with him, professionally, that I could work really comfortably with him. So I said 2 questions. Number one, you just did my vocals. I have a polyp. I'm about to get surgery. Do you think my voice can handle vocals? He goes, yeah, you sound great. Like, it's like, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't go get the surgery if I were you, if this is how your voice sounded. If the only reason you're getting the surgery is so because you think it's negatively affecting your voice, I wouldn't do it because your voice sounds great.
Yeah.
And I said, secondly, let's talk about putting together, and there's also another reason we did the EP because we hadn't worked together yet, so I didn't commit to a full album. So we just started working on the songs, and when the 6-song album was done, I had a little record release party.
Yes.
It was last year, and then it started picking up some steam on Spotify. White Light, Black Light specifically, which is just a nice, great rocker. It's like a 3-minute fun rocker that also makes you think. You gotta listen to every word. I'm a middle child. Every fucking word in that song, because there are things I'm good at. There are things I have potential at.
Yeah. We all have our strengths and weaknesses.
We have our strengths and weaknesses. I think I got a pretty good voice. When it comes to comedy, I'm self-conscious as shit, but, like all of us. But I'm a fucking hell of a songwriter. So it's important, but I also know that this is not poetry.
Yeah.
And this is rock and roll, and the song. I mean, listen. Let's fucking listen to it. Just listen to it, and White Light, Black Light's 3-minute song, and then you'll love it. You listen to the whole album, and then you'll love it, and then you'll jack off thinking about me. It all ends up with you jacking off, thinking about me. You're too loose.
Either in the shower or listen to my album. We'll jack off in the shower. We'll listen to your album.
Exactly. Have something in your ass.
Full circle. Yes. Full circle.
Put an onion in your ass.
Impressive. Full or half? Do you want to save it or no?
Start with half.
Go to a full.
Yeah, and by the way, when you put an onion in your ass, you might think your asshole's crying. No, you're just wet. That's fine.
How would you say, what's different between like writing for like a song versus writing for a comedy bit? So what is the mindset that's different from each?
Well, both of them start the same way. You start with one thought, one inspiration. Mm-hmm. For comedy, it's like, you're doing something like, isn't that weird? Isn't this fucked up?
Yeah.
Let me go. So now you're like, okay, now a bit of how this is fucked up, or this weird thing happened to me. Let me take this weird thing happened to me and then make it even funnier. Mm-hmm. Same thing with music. For me, and that's why I wrote songs before I started playing instruments, or before I knew what a C chord was or anything about music.
Yeah.
Because it would just be, I would, be in the shower or wherever, and I'd be like, some fun sunshine coming through the door. If you want even, you can feel secure. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the rest of it, that was just an example of one of the songs of my first album, because I was imagining myself then. Trying to I want to be factually accurate. And you're like, oh, let me work that into a song, but you already have, just with that first thought, you already have a melody and an idea for where you want the song to go, just there. So then from there you build it out, and it's kind of unlike with comedy. Mm-hmm. Where you're like, okay, this is a cool idea. Now I have to make it funny.
Yeah.
With a song, it's kind of like, oh, the inspiration is where I want the song to go.
Yeah.
Now I just gotta follow it. I got the lead. The lead is just those first lines. Now I gotta follow it. Do I want this to be the chorus or the verse? If I want it to be the verse, I just follow it, and then when the verse is done,
yeah,
where do I want to go? You know, na na ma 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 na na ma na na. You know, like that's relative key. You know if you're ending there, and now I've learned the education of what a relative key is. I don't have perfect pitch, which makes me bad for jam banding. But I have really great relative pitch.
Okay.
Like you give me a pitch, I can harmonize with it, or I can know where I need to go with it. So really, once I have the beginning of it, the rest is usually more of a fun experience. Because it's already, once it's created, it's almost just like watching a baby grow. You know, you just have to parent it.
Yeah. Nurture it, water it.
Yeah, exactly. Take care of it. Nurture it and water it for whatever, 40 minutes.
there's a joke in comedy, or there's a saying in comedy, I should say, that sometimes you got to kill your babies. You know, there's jokes that you love, and you love, but it's not working. Music is the same way.
Yeah, for sure. But with music, when you raise that baby, all you got to do is take care of it. It's there. You just let it grow and take care of it, and you just got to write down and record what it is that's coming out. When it comes to comedy, and I'm sure for some comedians it's like that. Ones that are better than me.
Fair.
Because comedy is work for me. Music obviously is literally work, but there's something so much more organic. I'm just more of a natural. I mean, I also have 20 some odd years of experience with music.
Yeah. If you changed it and had 20 some odd years in comedy versus 20 some odd years,
probably come more natural for me. Yeah. But or just maybe where my more natural talents go. Comedy is work for me.
Yeah.
Comedy is work emotionally, mentally. Comedy is work in so many ways, and that's why I have this kind of relationship with comedy, where I love it and hate it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it challenges me in a way that it's like you have to be aware of everything.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that it's not natural. It's just it's not natural for me. It's out of this. It's not organic. And also, here's a confession. All right, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
And everyone listening to this podcast. I don't enjoy watching stand-up comedy. I don't enjoy it.
Why?
Because somebody's talking to me, and I'm not part of the conversation. Kind of like the people listening to this podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we all listen to podcasts or radio or news and stuff like that. It's just people talking.
Yeah, but with comedy, it's if you're talking to me about what you're feeling and actual literal things, fine. If you're trying to make me laugh, okay. But you gotta pick one or the other. Like, so either I'm just listening to you try to make me laugh, or I'm just listening to what you think about life. It's, and listen, if someone does it really well, then I will be engaged for 5 minutes. But like, sit through an hour and a half show. I get amazed on a Monday night at a Comedy Store. And I'm sorry, I'm outing myself. But I love doing comedy because it's such a challenge. I don't understand why there's such a large audience for stand-up comedy as an art. I don't. It just seems so contrived. The entire art is contrived. I'm gonna get up here and try to make you laugh. I don't understand. We have conversations with friends who we think are funny. We have TV shows that have a whole setup.
Yeah.
That can entertain us while it makes us laugh, instead of some doofus standing up there, and that doofus often is me, standing up there saying, "I'm gonna make it." Why? It's like a court jester, but that should be gone. The court jester was a thing when we didn't have television.
Yeah. Well, it was funny you say that because I was actually at the Hollywood Comedy last week. And I was just doing open mic there, and there's just this blind guy there. He was just blind, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah." And that, "Oh, you gonna do any material today?" He's like, "No, I don't have a TV, so I come here just to enjoy myself for 2 or 3 hours. It's free." And I was like, "Okay, I get that." Because he doesn't watch TV. He listens to the radio, but then he gets bored of it. And so, we'll listen to other people talk.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, if you don't have a TV.
I just make
which is fiscally responsible for a blind person to not have a TV.
I mean, I have a projector. I don't have a TV, so it's a little different.
No, but you're projecting and you stream it. You can stream it.
I can stream it from my laptop.
Yeah,
but it's fine. But I was gonna say, but yeah, like stuff like that. Like I love comedy. I've been watching comedy since I was a little kid. I remember one of my first favorite comics was Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
So my favorite bit of all time that he did was the ice cream joke. Ice cream! He was like, I got some ice cream. I got some ice cream. And he sees this one kid. He's like, who doesn't have no ice creams? You ain't got no ice cream. You ain't got no ice cream. And he just divulges into insanity. He's like, cause your dad's an alcoholic and he beat you. You ain't got no ice cream. It's fucking. I love that bit. Just when I first saw that one, it was
that
like
was great.
Like I don't know, like Eddie Murphy, his set is just timeless. It's timeless. He's timeless. When was the first time you got on stage, like ever? Like was it like in middle school, high school, like?
First time I got on stage, no. I went to an all boys Jewish high school, Orthodox. We didn't have any extracurricular programs at all. First time I got on stage was first time I did comedy when I was 19.
19? Okay, how was that like? What was it? What did you feel that when at 19 years old?
Well, it was a bringer show.
Oof.
And a bomb.
Of course.
Awfully, of course.
Do you remember what the set was?
I remember it was terrible.
You don't remember what you said? You just remember sucking?
I remember it was terrible. I just remember eating a big cock. But here's the thing. I got up there again the next week.
Yeah.
And it did better.
Yes.
And then I got up there again the next week. And it was awful again. Then I got up there again. And it was better.
Yeah, you get up and down flows, you know?
Yeah, but I didn't.
Everyone bombs.
Yeah, everyone bombs. Yeah, but I didn't get discouraged.
Yeah.
I remember my first roast battle. More recently, I got fucking smoked,
slammed,
and humiliated, and and it was a lot to take, but it was also like, okay,
it's a good learning experience.
This is how bad it gets.
Yeah.
And then boom, and get better and better, and you know, and you work on it, and then you get to a point where you're like, okay, now I won the undercard belt. Now people are gonna respect me, and then you realize, wait a minute, who gives a fuck if people respect me?
Yeah.
I'm never gonna know. It doesn't matter. I have people who are my friends and I like. I have people who are acquaintances and whatever. I like them or don't like them. You know.
Yeah. Who have our nemesis?
I have people I'm like, I'll say hi to them, but
we don't talk.
Be wary.
Yeah.
You know, just be wary. No, hey, this is about. I don't really want to get in your ecosphere. You know, because you're a dangerous human.
Yeah.
You know?
I understand.
But then they're wonderful people, and all I really wanted when I got into roast battle was to be respected, as not respected like as a great roast battler, just as one of the roast battlers, one of the guys, you know.
I get that. What about the first time you performed live on stage? Like when you performed your first song. What was the first song you performed on stage? How was that like?
Well, the first song I performed.
Do you remember the venue?
Yes, I remember the venue because here's the thing. The first time I performed comedy was at the Boston Comedy Club, which no longer exists.
Oh,
but
that's funny that you performed music at a comedy club for the first time.
First time for comedy was at the Boston Comedy.
Okay, that's cool.
It's like a block away from the Cellar.
Yeah.
It was a great little club. Unfortunately, no longer exists. Downstairs from the Comedy Cellar was a place called the Bag It Inn, and that happened to be the first place I had a live music gig.
Oh, okay.
So that was just a nice, that whole west there between Thompson and Sullivan in New York, like a couple blocks away from the Comedy Cellar, was memorable stuff. The first time I performed music, I was performing pretty much the album that I just made, and it felt good, you know. It felt good, and it's pretty. I mean, I had to learn to do with my hands.
Like, what were you doing? Is it just in your pocket? Or?
You're like, if you never perform music on stage, you're like, what do I do when I'm not singing?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do?
You just stand there.
You hang on the mic, you stand there, you're like, oh, yeah, dance a little bit. Yeah, it's just time to figure to get more comfortable on stage. I certainly wasn't comfortable on stage, but it was a very it was a nice experience, you know. And then I was gonna get an entertainment lawyer to shop my album, but I got very drunk before that show, and I was just dropping F-bombs everywhere. And the guy called me the next day and he goes, "You're not ready."
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Did you ever go on tour? Or were you part like an opener or anything like that?
No. I never. But again, like I never socialized in the
industry.
Yeah.
Do you feel like if you had like socialized and if you try to make connections and put yourself out there, promoted yourself better, not have someone else promote you, you could have done a lot more for yourself?
Oh, for sure. But I really don't. I mean, I don't. ADD. I don't know how to do that shit.
Yeah.
But B, I think there's a safety in just creating. You know, I obviously I want to share and reach people and I want to be able to make their lives better and happier. And validate myself, of course. But at the same time, nobody can touch you when it's yours.
Yeah.
And so long as you're making music, it's yours. And then it's out there. Listen if you want. Make it yours. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's so it's probably I'm probably a scared little bitch about it.
So how do you so you make most of your money in music? How does one make money in music?
Oh no, I make most of my money, like I told you, like writing songs. I do some live coaching. I do
coaching too?
Yeah. My therapist in rehab really wanted me to go get a psychology degree.
Impressive.
I mean, her faith in me means a lot. But I was like, I'm not going to school. I'm not gonna do that. She goes, okay, can you just take these? It was the middle of Corona. So you're going to do it anyway. Can you take these courses? These like 80-hour courses and
80-hour courses?
Yeah, in dialectal behavioral therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, neurolinguistic programming, life coaching. And I did. So over like a half a year, I got my certification in all those things. And she sends me clients when because she's busy as hell. She's really great. So either when she doesn't have time or when she's just dealing with someone, she's like, you know what, I think you would understand them better than I would, you know.
Yeah. And how's that like been? Like how is that like process and everything?
Listen, it's wonderful to be able to be there for people and to be able to, you know, that's uncomfortable.
She just walked on his nuts.
Not on my nuts. On my knob on top of my nuts.
Yeah.
She kind of gripped it. But the point is, let me see, I can't touch you for a little bit.
You feel violated.
I still love you in my heart. But
yeah.
But it also you know depends on who you. It's wonderful to work with a client who wants to be happy.
Yeah.
It's awful, and I won't. I like I don't charge people for first sessions. You know, so first session we're all going to decide if we want to do this.
Yeah.
And if there's a client that I see doesn't want to be happy, they want to stay in victimhood.
What does that look like? What does it mean that they want to stay in victimhood?
It means if they're talking about a situation, and you just say, yeah, that's awful, but at least this and this and this.
All right, you're in trouble. Elsie, come here.
At least this and this, and they're like, and you point out something good. That's okay. I'll just protect my people. You know, and you try to point out something good, and they'll go right back to either they'll make that bad or they'll go right back to something bad. No, it's awful. No, it's awful. No, everything's awful. No, everything's awful. And you say, okay, no, I get that that's awful. Now, I just want you for a moment talk about the good things in your life, and you'll even bring up the good things in their life, and they won't because they don't want to. They want to feel like nothing's good, and they're the victim because it's the only way they feel safe. And then I will say at the end of a session, like I'll say, all right, I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't know if I could be any good for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to challenge you. to get out of victim mode. I'm going to challenge you to take that armor off. I'm going to challenge you to say, hey, you know what? There are good things going on in my life, and I could make them better. So you could be happier.
Yeah.
But you have to want that.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to happen, and there's no point. And maybe you don't have to waste your time doing any of this.
Yeah.
Until you get to a point where you're ready.
Yeah.
And I said, because I'm going to challenge you on that. And
what are examples of challenging people when as a life coach? Like how?
Well, very simple. It's like, let's say you're a life coach, and you're my life coach, and I start off. You say, "How was your weekend?" And I say, "How was my week? My boss did this and this and this and this. This is a little shit and this, and I kind of talking about me and my ex-girlfriend's did this, but that's everybody is fucking me up. My life is miserable because everybody hates me. Ba 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 ba." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, so your boss said this and this to you. Are you sure that was about you at all?"
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
was it just because they're an asshole, or they got other things
to do? Maybe he was just going through something. You start building a situation where it had nothing to do with that person being a victim. I said, also, why can't you just do this?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just do this? No, because my boy, you know, and they'll repeat. They have, because they built their. And it's a normal thing. It's when somebody feels like so beaten down that they believe that that's their only protection.
Yeah.
It's the only way they feel safe. And if they think for a second that they can be happy, they're going to get crushed.
Yeah.
So they have to stay in this, no, everybody hates me.
Yeah.
End of story. And I'm not going to waste people's time.
Yeah, I've had to deal with that myself because I'm also a massage therapist, so that's where I make my bread and butter.
And you get a lot of therapy.
Yeah. A lot of people cry. But what I want to say is, like I've had like an instance of this one guy. So he's an international businessman. The first time he comes sees me, he's in a suit. He's just like, when we talk, it's always one letter, one word. How you doing? You know. And then after about 3 months of seeing him, for about like every 2 weeks, by the end of the third month, he's in like tank top, he's in like shorts, he's in flip flops. Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Have a good time.
He's stoned?
No, he's not stoned. He's just enjoying himself. He opens up the conversation. He's like, because I'll talk to him. He's like, how are you doing? He's like, oh, this and that. I was like, oh, well, when we're talking about that, and he'll talk about this, and then he starts talking about his family, and then he talks about this, and then and then he starts joking.
He takes a while to get comfortable.
Yeah,
once he gets comfortable, he changes his outfit. He's just That's awesome.
Yeah, so things like that. I see a lot of people when they walk in, they're in pain, because I used to work also with like chiropractors. I see some people, they see me after they have an injury, so then I work with them. I'm also trained in physical therapy as well.
And they must have a connection with you when you heal them from their pain. Then you are to them kind of, you're a healer. You're a parent.
Yeah, in a sense, I guess. But I wouldn't say I'm a parent.
Well, I think in the sense that when a child gets hurt, they want their mother or father to ease their pain. And so when you ease somebody's pain, they are going to look at you as a parent. They're going to a therapist, a massage therapist, any kind of therapist. Yeah. People will look at it. We do that with lovers. We do that with friends. We look at people as adults to try and give us some of either what we had as children from our parents, or more commonly what we didn't.
Yeah, there's a good saying, our parents are either great examples or great warnings.
Yeah.
You have to just decide which one they are.
For sure. Can I ask you a question? Does this lead to a little porch area?
Just a little backyard. Just a little, like, not backyard, but just a little balcony right here.
Well, what I'm asking is, can we pull an intermission for me to have a cigarette because I have a terrible smoke?
We can.
All right, wait. Let's do a little intermission sign off.
Okay.
Or should we not? Do you want to just make it seamless?
Seamless.
So let's get into the position that we're gonna be in, so we can start in this position next time.
We'll try it. Okay, and we're back.
Okay, I'm on pause now.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, you're picking that up again. I'm gonna put my jacket here. Cover up my My,
you're in trouble now. Come
yeah, I'm gonna rename my gonads Stop Nads.
Stop, Nance.
Oh, but Lucy's so cute.
Come here, listen, you're in trouble now. Come on. Come on.
Oh, I don't want to get Lucy in trouble. I don't want to get Lucy in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh,
As long as we can't have nice things. Now, well, as we were saying, so let's get back to comedy real quick. So, being that you know, go to a whole bunch of mics in different places, what are your favorite types of mics? What type of places do you like to go to? Like for me, I love the Fourth Wall. It's a great place.
You know what? A lot of people shit on the Fourth Wall. What I like about the Fourth Wall is I happen to prefer slotted mics because it's a captive audience. You all make an agreement. We're going to listen to this even though we don't want to, just so we can perform. Let's be honest. That's what it is. Because, now you have two different kinds of audiences. Mm-hmm. You have the comics who, when other comics are on stage, they are not listening. They're writing notes. And they're obnoxious motherfuckers. And they don't belong at open mics.
No.
Then you have your comedians. There's a lot of comedians who feel like if they laugh at your joke, then when they go on stage and they're not laughing, it's going to seem like it's less funny. You know? When I'm on an open mic, I try to imagine I've had a couple of drinks. Mm-hmm. You know? I'm an easy laugh. You know? Not to the point where I'm going to make somebody believe that a joke is funny when it's not.
Yeah.
But the joke where I think is a little funny, I'll laugh.
Yeah.
A little funny. You know?
I usually try and like I'll giggle at something I think is funny, but if I really like something, I'll like laugh and I'll do the clap.
Yeah.
I do the clap one, or I'll be like, "That's a good one." I'll verbally say that's good.
Yeah, the clap is to say yes.
Oh,
that.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
that.
I like the clap. It's like, all right. The single clap is a good one. Then you get the that single clap.
Yeah. The Dirty Daily open mic on Thursday nights.
Oh yeah, Tara.
I really like that because somehow, when I talk about your good open mic audiences, somehow they're always there.
I feel like it's because she cultivates that.
Yeah.
She cultivates that. I need to go to that one. That's one of those mics I've been trying to go to, but it's so packed. It's so hard to get on that mic.
You gotta sign up. Just gotta sign up.
You gotta sign up early. You gotta sign up like on Tuesday.
Right. Yeah.
That's the difference. You gotta sign up on Tuesday.
Yeah, that is tough. No, that's why I haven't been there recently.
Yeah.
I mean, hitting open mics is tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what I do is when I have new material, I wanna shop it along the mics, kind of.
Yeah.
Get it going.
Is there any places you don't like going?
Well, here's the thing. Really want to go to Tuesday improv mics because Rena's there and
people are gonna be there.
People are gonna be there. The problem is, there's like a 20% chance you're gonna get called up.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I gonna go out there for the possibility of getting called up?
Wasn't that like how people feel like when they go to Kill Tony's? It's like
yeah. Kill Tony's or the potluck.
Potluck, yeah. That's why I don't do the potluck.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's a 20% chance I'm going on, and then it also kind of fucks you up when you are going on, because you assume you're not, then you are, you're like, what the fuck? I like to be prepared for a set. I like to know I'm going in, I'm doing a set.
Yeah.
I got a show Friday night, I know I'm going in, I know I'm doing my set. It's 8 or 10 minutes. I don't know which one, but that's okay.
I would say the only place I hate, and it's because of the owner, is Chateau.
I've never been.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. I love the venue, but fuck Felix. Fuck Felix, the owner. As some things that when people's like, "Oh, me too," hashtag this, hashtag that. It's like, stick up for it. Like he's just an asshole. He's a creepy. There's a reason why the wait staff changes every 3 months. You know what I mean?
Because they don't get paid.
They don't get paid right, and he don't treat them right. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I love a lot of mics around here. Like, I love Big Chilling. Like I said, Fourth Wall. I love it because, it's a good atmosphere. Like, Joe, the guy who owns and runs Fourth Wall, he runs a good ship. Like, all the people who host have good energy.
Yeah, the energy is supportive. They feel good. It's about the people.
Yeah.
It's about the comics there.
Did you ever go to Pasadena Comedy Club? No? It's shut down now. It started up like during the COVID and ended because of divorce. But that's it. But the owner was she owns Hollywood Comedy, and she used to own Pasadena Comedy. But I used to compare them all the time because the difference is like Hollywood comedy, it just feels like a very like hard room. Like you said, everyone on the phone, everyone cross, everyone's like.
Yeah.
Whereas Pasadena comedy, to me, it felt like community college.
Right.
You know, everyone's supported, like good
Yeah.
job, you know, stuff like that. And there's rooms like that, and we need those rooms out here.
Yeah, and listen, and the thing about those hard rooms, I don't mind a hard room because that's gonna let you know you gotta get your shit right.
Yeah.
But I mind the not listening room. You know?
Yeah.
Because if you're not listening, and if you're only thinking about what you can say back, like, for your own performance, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you're the audience. You know? Pretend you're an actual audience.
Pretend you care. But that's why whenever I go to open mics, I usually try and have my paper there or my phone there. Like, I'll write everything on my phone, and then I'll just, like, close my phone. I won't open it unless I want to write something down. But other than that, I won't open my phone until I go up there, and then I just put it back in my pocket. Like, I feel like it's kind of a respect thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. I always hate, too, like, especially before COVID and before the Slotted became big, what I hated was you see people come to mics and then just leave.
After well, that's the thing. That's why I like slotted mics.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough thing with mics because, like, if I'm on an unslotted mic,
like the bucket mics.
Bucket mics. If I'm on a bucket mic and I get called up somewhat early, I will stick around for 3 comics afterward. You know, stick around for 3 comics after.
Only. And
then I'm gonna be like,
I'm out.
Shit. You know? Because it's. I don't like comedy.
That's just so funny.
I laugh at comedy. I just don't like comedy because I can laugh at it because it's funny.
Yeah.
But I don't have an emotional connection to it. You know, for instance, like I would prefer to watch somebody I care about, a comic who I care about, doing a set that I've seen 50 times before.
Yeah.
To watching Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm.
Because I care. I'm invested. I'm like, I want this person to do well.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm involved just because I have a rooting interest.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's my football team.
Exactly. It's my football team. Right. That's what it is. It's not that I hate baseball. I love baseball. But if my team's not playing, I'm not gonna sit and watch the fucking game. You know? It's like I don't care who wins.
If the Yankees or Mets are out, why the fuck am I watching the World Series?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't matter. My team's not in it. Yeah. Fuck them.
You're a New York fan?
Nah, fuck New York.
Only team. Oh, you just know that I'm from New York. Yeah, I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah, okay, that's worse. No, it's all right. It's all right.
It's worse as far as the torture of it, but it's better as far as the chances that I'm not a fucking prick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would say the only fans that are worse are Boston fans. Fuck Boston. Fuck the whole city of Boston. Fuck all of Boston. I hate Boston.
But you said for Boston.
I hate the Boston accent.
But Boston, when I was growing up, was the saddest sports town in the world. The Red Sox were the most tragic team ever. The Patriots were awful. They reached one Super Bowl where they got trounced by the Bears. Besides that, they're in last place perennially.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Celtics were great.
Yeah, there's the Celtics. But I'm a Lakers fan. I grew up a Lakers fan, so that's why.
Yeah, sorry about what's happening now.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. It's all right. It's all right.
I mean,
there's next year.
Yeah, they gotta get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back out of retirement.
Right. That's what it feels like. Don't get me started about my Lakers. They're doing bad this year. They're doing bad.
Well, I mean, listen,
they did good.
They did pretty well,
but they got swept.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Let's be honest. It was a good year, but at the end of the day, you got swept, and it was a bad sweep. They lost some games with like 20 points.
Yeah, but you got to look at Jokic and just say, wow, Yeah, sometimes you gotta. I remember.
It's like LeBron. Sometimes you just gotta see LeBron fucking 8 straight years in the finals. Wow.
I remember. I'm a Jets fan, but I was a huge Jets fan when I was in high school, and I still thought I'll play in the NFL one day. But I'm gonna be a center fielder who also a wide receiver. But I remember the Jets were up like by 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and then Dan Marino went on fire. It was a fake spike game.
Oh, yeah. The Jumbo Elliott.
No. That was the game the Jets won. That was later. This was like 10 years. No, not 10 years. This was like 6 years before that. And Marino, the good memory on the Jumbo Elliott game. Marino just started going on fire. It was the end of the third quarter. Mm-hmm. The Jets were up by 21 points. and Marino drove for a touchdown, and I said, "Oh, this game's over. The Dolphins won this game." And I was just watching the game, and I was like, "This sucks that the Jets are going to lose. I'm watching it happening, but also I'm watching greatness. I'm watching one of the best ever doing it like he does it." And it ended up being like 5 seconds left, 4th down and 1. And third down and 1, and Marino's like fake spike.
Oh, and he goes to Mark.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram. He goes to Mark
Ingram.
82. Mark Ingram.
I think it was. So you have a good memory.
This is before my. I just like NFL Network. So.
But that was just the end of the game. People focus on that.
Yeah.
No, it was the fact that Marino in the third quarter just turned something on.
Yeah.
And nothing was going to stop him. And like I saw the fake spike, I was like, yeah. And I knew that was.
Yeah, it was at the old Meadowlands.
Yeah. But sometimes you have to just look and say, I just saw a great basketball player assert his will and dominance. And
dude was literally just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Like he was just literally in the paint like.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, it sucks that he's doing it to your team. But I mean it's the kind of thing that you might be talking about,
the way I like to say it,
years, especially if he goes on and wins the whole thing.
I like to appreciate by hating on it. Yeah. Can you believe this motherfucker did this? Fuck that dude.
What an asshole trying his best and using his talents right.
Fuck him.
How could he do that to us? He must hate us.
Fuck him. Whatever nationality he is, I don't even know. I know he's from Europe. I forget what country. Like no. Nah, but it is. But yeah. We're saying Patriots suck. Boston sucks.
Yeah. It's to me. I remember in 2000 when the Mets and the Yankees were in the World Series, and for Game 5, the Mets were down 3-1, and
the Subway Series.
And me and my girlfriend at the time, who had become a big Mets fan through our relationship, went to go watch it at a bar. It was a New York bar. There were Mets fans, there were Yankees.
Yeah.
And the Yankees in the 2 outs in the 9th, runners on base. The Yankees are up by a run, and Piazza hit a ball that Derek Jeter said. I went back to the dugout, game was over, because it was gone. And somehow it didn't, and it dropped into Bernie Williams' glove, and the Yankees won.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend at the time, she's crying. I'm consoling her, she's crying. These 4 Yankee fans come and say, "Yeah, suck it, Met fans!" I said, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, the only thing that's worse is in LA, if you were a Giants fan, we would just kick your ass.
It's true. It is better to say "suck it" than to
versus a foot in your mouth.
Well, foot that starts in your ass ends up in your mouth.
That's the thing about LA fans is we're known as aggressive fans, like not towards like the players and all that in the game. We're respectful, but once we're in the fucking parking lot, all bets are off. If it's especially if it's San Francisco, it doesn't matter. San Francisco 49ers at the Rams game, Giants at the Dodgers game. It's fucking going down.
A lot of great rivalries.
Yeah, there are a lot of great rivalries. Well, it's interesting because we don't even have LA doesn't really even have a rivalry with Golden State because they sucked for so many.
Or San Diego. Even though there's a slight Padres, but it's also the same.
Well, Padres just started. They just started getting good. Okay.
They just started getting good, but even when they're good, even when they beat the Dodgers last year in the playoffs,
we know where they're gonna lose. They're not that good.
Yeah, some of the Dodger fans they were like, and Met fans also. The Mets won 101 games, but we could tell by the way they were playing in September that it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah,
Padres went through both of us, but there's something about the Padres fans.
They're nice.
San Diego, they're too chill.
They're
too chill to hate on.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice people.
Give me a Phillies fan or a Red Sox fan, and I'll gladly hate them. Except the Red Sox fan, we both hate the Yankees, so it's kind of like 2004 was one of my favorite sports moments.
That's sad.
No, I'm a Mets fan and a Jets fan.
Yeah, that's sad. In 2004 is your best sports year.
My favorite sports moment was when my dad woke me up when I was 8 years old to watch the Mets win their last World Series back in 1986. My second favorite was when the Red Sox came back for 3-0 because not just because I hate the Yankees, because the Mets broke the Red Sox heart in '86, which was my favorite moment. Mm-hmm. But I saw all the Red Sox crying and the Red Sox fans and all the shit that happened.
Yeah, through the legs.
Yeah.
Buckners.
And Fuckner they called him for a while. And it was nice to see, because baseball's a spooky game. It's a spooky game. I don't know how this works, but if me and you are watching a game, and a pitcher is pitching a no-hitter through 7, and one of us says, "Oh, he's pitching a no-hitter," the next it's going to get you hit. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it happens every fucking time. I like it. As a scientist, which I'm not, it does not make sense. But as a human being who's seen it happen and looking at the evidence, as a scientist looking at the evidence, when it's happened 8 times, and it's never happened that I've been with somebody and they said, "Oh, he's pitching a no-hitter," and they didn't give up the no-hitter.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't make sense. I'm one person.
Yeah.
But baseball's spooky sport.
Yeah.
And life is spooky like that too sometimes.
Because I do like it how like even the announcers don't even say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they do.
Sometimes
and I want to kick their ass, and then they give a hit. But the thing is, it's nice to see that the losers don't stay losers forever.
Yeah.
That the Red Sox could beat the Yankees and do it in epic fashion.
Yes.
That's possible. That everything is possible. And that we are not, cordoned off into one area of our lives. We can always try for something that seems so out of the range of possibility, even though we failed before, and again, and again, and again. But you know what? Next time, it might be different.
Like I would say the difference is between you being a Mets fan, me being a Dodgers fan, and a Lakers fan, and an LA fan, is we expect to win championships. You expect to lose.
If you're a Yankee fan or a Giant fan in New York, if you're a New York Giant fan and a New York Yankee fan, you expect the same thing.
Yeah, like you expect to win. Like here's the thing, like if you're an Angels fan,
Angels are my California team.
Yeah,
Angels are the Mets of the West.
That's what I was like to say.
Yeah.
Mets, the Dodgers are the New York, or the Yankees, and the Angels are the. I have this whole thing breaking down. So, the only thing I have fucked up is hockey because football.
The Clippers are the Angels and
because Clippers are the other Mets and Lakers are the Yankees. That's
why Clippers are my LA team. Yeah. The Nets are my New York team. I have all the underdogs.
Yeah.
I have all the underdogs.
And then the only problem is, I don't know. Should it be the Islanders or the Devil? The Islanders should be the New York team, or the Devils.
The Devils are
Jersey.
Are well, yeah, but the Nets were Jersey at 1.2. The difference is it's not. It's the Islanders are the poor man's Rangers. The Devils are their own entity who've had a lot of success.
Oh yeah, because they have the Rangers. So it'd be the Rangers or the Yankees, and then the Islanders would be the Mets.
Yeah, the Knicks are the difference is that the Rangers and the Knicks haven't experienced the success that the Yankees had.
Yeah.
But they do own the town.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So because New York's more of a Rangers town than it is Islanders.
Rangers, Knicks, Yankees.
Who are Islanders fans? They're just on that Long Island. That's it.
No, they're just the cool people.
Just the cool people?
Yeah, the cool people are like, I don't want to root for the fucking the favorite. I don't want to root for the team everybody else loves. I want to root for the little baby elusive puppies who like to step on balls. You know? The little puppies.
Yeah, she's a junkyard dog. She walks like a fucking pit bull. You see her? She walks like
she got a strut. She got
a big old chest, little arms. That's how you know she's real Mexican. Them Mexican girls, they got big old chests, but they got little arms. It's long enough to fucking get cooking. Shit. No, but I love sports. I like to go. I like to go through the history of sports. Like I like going through like sports history. Like I want to make jokes about sports. Like I just don't.
But people aren't gonna relate.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so like another thing like. Because Ray, I forget his last name, but his name's Ray. I don't remember his last name right now. But he does a lot of like anime conventions, anime shows. So his whole jokes are all based around anime and stuff like that, and like that culture. So like you have to sometimes go into that culture.
Yeah.
Like when you perform, what kind of cities or what kind of bars do you feel like you perform best at when you do your music?
When I do
like where do you usually perform at when you perform music?
I performed a lot of shows at Bar 9. It didn't have in New York.
In New York,
didn't have the best sound system, but it was a great place. And in the end, it's it's just like comedy. The bigger the crowd, the
better it is.
Yeah, it's like that's the way it is. If I have the bigger the crowd, and are they not? I know they're paying attention.
Are they into it?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your favorite? Like, what was your favorite time you performed in? Like your whole like set. What was your like?
My favorite time performing a set. Well, there's two of them. One was I started playing an instrument in 2006. I played piano live for the first time with a band in 2008, and then I was contacted by this Emergenza music festival.
Genzo.
It's just some kind of competition for a battle of the bands.
Okay.
I said, sure, I'm going to put my name in Battle of Bands. The band name is Ephie and the Elephants.
That's actually a cute name.
Yeah.
I like it. That's cool.
The problem is that I didn't really have a band. My friend Ellie Gelder played the cajon. But besides that, and that's why I was doing piano cajon kind of gigs. And so at the time, I didn't have a full band. So I went to my friend Ellie plays the drums. I said, he'll play the drums. And the sound guy, Roy, played bass. And Ellie's friend David Kesey played guitar. And the first gig was in like 2 weeks. So let's get together, you know.
That's a pretty short time for like to get your groove and everything.
Yeah, to learn. So I taught them the original songs, and they picked it up. But we really had like 2 rehearsals from scratch to brand new songs. And the first competition, we barely squeaked by, you know. The second one we had our shit together, we went to Crash Mansion, which was the semifinals of Crash Mansion, and we destroyed. We just destroyed. The place it was like 150 people in a place that could hold like 150 people, and we just fucking demolished. So that was great. That brought us to the finals at Webster Hall, which was a huge fucking. We opened, and we had a good set, but some other fuckers had a better set, and we ended up, but still, there were 200 bands. We made the top 10.
200, damn.
We made the top 10 at Webster Hall. So the Crash Mansion and Webster Hall gigs were really like, just playing a venue like Webster Hall.
Yeah,
is like that's wow. And then my record release album for my album Pieces in 2015, which was at Bar 9. But it was packed, and also, and I was going through a bitter arbitration case because I had opened a bar with somebody I thought was my friend and ended up being a crook. And I was taken into court, a case which I won.
Okay, that's good.
It's good, except you know what happens when a con man owes you money? They disappear.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
Yeah, the good news is somebody owes me $150,000. The bad news is I'm never gonna get it.
No.
But
that's a lot.
But it was while that was going on, I was under so much stress, and you know, because I was opening the bar, making the album, all these things were happening, and the bar fucking like went
under
south. So I'm having this gig.
This is back in 2015.
This is back in 2015, and I am at court the whole day, and like when I have breaks, I'm just like stressing about, just like when you stress before comedy, remembering every word. I don't want to forget my words. I'm gonna, and I'm like literally I'm going like, I'm like playing air piano and I stopped off at my dad's office. I had left an outfit there. I showered, the gym, and I got into new clothes, and I went straight to the gig, straight from court to the gig. Like almost as stressed out as I've been in my life. And then the crowd was good. I was happy about that. We started playing, and we just killed it, and I was free. It was all like, all love, all happiness, all joy, and it was great. Yeah, and that was a really wonderful experience.
Did your parents, were they supportive of the music at first?
Well, yeah. I mean, originally, the music really started. At first, they were supportive of it because I was a cokehead, and now I was doing. Yeah, they were like, yes, do something. But then I think they were surprised to say, like, oh shit,
you're doing something.
he's good. So then they began supportive, and then I started writing songs for family and stuff like that, for bar mitzvahs and stuff like that, and yeah, they've been very appreciative, and now I think. I don't want to say I started this thing, but because I think that I found out through meeting a second cousin who I didn't really know that the roots of our family, because we didn't really have any music in our family, but the roots of our family going back, they were musicians,
Mm-hmm.
and and now the next generation, a lot of musicians,
Yeah.
So I like that I was able to open that up. And just I'm so proud of them. They're just really talented musicians, writers, producers. My family, I have a sister has kids in Israel, and the boys put together their own little band.
That's cool.
It's great to see now that a very business oriented family has gotten. Has become more of a musical family as well. And that's big.
Well, there's always that isn't that how it goes. There's always cycles.
Yeah.
Cycles. Yeah. Some people are more business oriented. Some people are more musical. I always like to say it's like I feel like, especially I'm one of my first generations in America. I'm the first generation in America from my family. So it's like I'm spreading my legs out. So I'm like we're like learning out here, and like I have some cousins who are in law. I have some cousins who are in medicine. Another cousin who's a musician, so it's like there's different people doing different things, and I love seeing this like growth. Yeah. And I like to see like your own family doing good, and like it comes back to like seeing our community do good. You know what I mean? Like our friends, our family, they're family. I mean, our community.
Absolutely, and I love that we're coming back to this because it really is. It's our job.
Yeah.
It's our job because I think that comedians also get so because there are people who are gonna be envious or whatever. We start getting on the defensive, and we start not realizing that we're doing the same thing, and that it's our jobs not to them.
Yeah,
it's our jobs to ourselves.
Yeah,
to be happy for the people we care about, because if you can't be happy for the people you care about, if you can't be, and it's okay to be jealous also.
Yeah,
it's nothing wrong with saying, "Oh, I'm so happy with this person. Man, I wish it was me." But I'm so happy if it's not me that it's them.
Yeah,
but it's so important because if we want to be the people that are going to have peace of mind, they're going to be able to enjoy our lives, they're going to be able to spread our love and joy to other people, then we need to be happy for the people we care about. I mean, that has to be like absolute. Yeah. And it doesn't mean you can't be jealous. Yeah. Hell, I'm into polyamory. I'm all about you're jealous, but still you're happy that the person you love is fucking somebody else sometimes, because really that's life easier for me.
It's hard for a lot of people to like get into, or like not just get into, like to understand that, because in Western society we're very taught to be very like monogamous. Yeah. Being in a poly relationship, what was that like?
Here's the problem. Number one, getting two truly polyamorous people together monogamy is this sense of security that people have. And listen, women are way less likely to be polyamorous than men are. Just because that's what and that's sometimes the problem with straight relationships. That women are looking for a genuine connection and commitment, and men are disgusting. No. You're
not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's men are looking for something else, and for me in a relationship, this ownership thing that people have in relationships. Now we're each other's people, and now we own each other. It's the codependence. It's never going to make me feel safe. But the problem is, a lot of people will feel safe, and that's what you have to figure out in relationships.
Yeah.
There's love language, and there's what makes us feel safe, and usually those are the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Polyamory will make a monogamous person feel unsafe. Monogamy will make a polyamorous person feel unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
We all want safety. We all want security.
Mm-hmm.
And we all want freedom. We all want those two things. The difference is, some people get their safety from security, and some people get their security. Some people get their safety from security from freedom, and some people get their freedom from security.
Yes.
So
okay.
for some people, like, if I know that my significant other is not fucking around with other people, I know that they're mine,
mm-hmm.
that makes me feel free.
Mm-hmm.
And for other people, it's like, if I know that me and my significant other are together, but also we're doing whatever we want with other people, that makes me feel secure. Because now I'm secure in the fact that I don't belong to anybody. I'm secure in the fact that we're going to live our individual lives and be there to support each other.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, when you're in a polyamorous relationship where you're the only one fucking around, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, that don't work.
No.
I mean, you were married and then divorced, but like, when did that transition happen? Like, not the whole divorce thing, but that's
Polyamory?
Polyamory. Like, when did you come to the conclusion that was what you wanted in life?
Well, growing up, especially growing up Orthodox Jewish, but growing up in general, I didn't think it was a possibility, and also I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19. So when it comes to the polyamory, it's like, I just want to fuck some. I don't care if it's the same woman forever. It's any woman. Anybody. Forever. But it was after I got after the marriage was over, and some point, because there was genuine love there, but we didn't want the same things,
mm-hmm.
and it made me take a closer look at what I wanted. And I realized that I am on a journey in life, and it is ever changing. And I'm not looking to put down roots.
Mm.
And what I didn't realize then, but I realize now, I realized then, but I didn't process exactly what it was, but I am someone who, we all need connection, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm someone who, part of me wants to connect with everybody.
Yeah.
And part of me don't want to connect with anybody. But so this whole concept of I'm going to connect with somebody and give them all of my trust, and also not connect with anybody else, or not connect, it doesn't make, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I want the ability to be able to connect with people, and then I'm in a relationship with someone I love. They are the people who we are bonded. But the other connections, you don't bond.
Yeah.
You kind of gas each other up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like connection. Oh, I've learned from you, you learned from me. It's like two machines touching fingers and trading data. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you've given me a little you, I've given you a little of me, and we're always here. We're friends with each other now. You know, we've connected.
Yeah.
And I almost think that's the point in life. We should connect. I think this concept of get one person and hunker down and connect, you're missing out. You know, and I get for a lot of people that feel safe.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't. But, because I want to be able to connect with the world. The problem is you connect too closely to people, and then, to connect like this is simple. Mm-hmm. It's easy. It makes sense.
Yeah.
To connect like this, it's tangled. And eventually down the road, once the chemicals wear off, you're like, I am deeply tangled in this other human being who I love and care about, but I can't be there the way she wants me to be there, and she can't be there the way I need her to be there. So what am I doing?
Yeah. But it's also because you like you said to me before, you said that you don't want to have kids. So it's like it fits more into your lifestyle, because the person who has kids, like if you ended up having a kid with a woman, you'd be more, I guess, not just to not step out, I would say, but you have like, oh, we got to make sure the kid's okay, this and that. You got more different. Whereas your lifestyle is more about like, hey, don't want kids, don't need kids.
Yeah. I gotta see where this goes.
Yeah.
This is the only life I have.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds narcissistic as hell, but it really is the only life I have.
Yeah.
And I totally respect that people want to say, hey, I want to take this life that I have and I want to use it to raise another life.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it seems like, shouldn't we focus on there's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to focus on our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure we're ready to put that on the back burner to take care of another life?
Couldn't you? There's some people who say like, couldn't you acquire your goals that you want as well as raise a family at the same time? Because there's plenty of people who are successful who have families, right?
It depends what your goals are.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You know, again, if
being a famous musician, there's plenty of famous musicians who have kids.
Oh yeah, but famous is nothing.
Or successful. How about successful?
Like, are you familiar? Because I'm so not a dork with the Star Trek Enterprise.
Somewhat of it, yes, but not. I'm not like, oh my God, have you seen episode?
No, I understand, but Star Trek, the Enterprise, their continuing mission was to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has never gone before. I am super cool. And
Monotonous.
And that is not something you can do with kids. You know? I'm going to put it this way. Imagine.
I would disagree with that. I would say the reason why is, why couldn't you do that with kids? I mean, that could be your lifestyle. I mean, there's people who like travel the whole world and they bring their kids with them and they do this and that. Like,
we're not discussing having kids together, right?
No, yeah,
that's fine.
It's fine. No, like, Eric. So there's this journalist that I follow, John. I'm horrible enough.
He's a Johnson, John Bon Jovi.
Whatever, John something. But he travels the world and he does articles, and he's a journalist. And he goes on site and he meets the people, he interviews people, this and that, and then he brings his family with him, and his family travels with him, and his wife and his kid. I don't know what he has, but his kids come with him, and they travel.
Sounds great for the kids.
But what's wrong with that? Like, because the kids are going. It's a different lifestyle. Because
kids should not be. Number one, kids should not be traveling. John is a terrible father.
So you're saying children should be in one area and not move?
I think children should have some security of where they are. Yes, and children who travel, army brats, they're called.
Yeah.
And even they're only traveling once a year, whatever. They grow up with such resentment, and they don't feel like they ever belong anywhere, and it's traumatic. But. So what you're basically saying is, yeah, why don't you just do whatever you want and just whatever you do, bring the kids with you? Why don't you just not make any sacrifices for the kids? That's fine. Yeah.
But I'm sure they make sacrifices in their own way of other things. I don't know.
I'm not judging John. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be. No, but imagine this. Imagine that you are a spaceship.
Okay.
Not a spaceship. A little hovering pod, and you hover around the world, and you go wherever you want, and you build up your pod into a bigger, stronger, happier pod, right? And then one day, an arm extends from your pod, goes right into the ground, digs into the ground, and anchors there. Well, now you can still fly around, but only as long as the arm will let you.
Okay.
You can't go around the world anymore, but that's okay because it's like a 100-yard arm. You still have a lot of room. Then we'll call this first arm wife. All right. Then you're going around this circular 100-yard radius, and then another arm pops out and anchors in. We'll call this wife first child with this arm first child. Now you really can't. Well, I'm saying it's just life.
Yeah, but
it's just life. Your freedom to explore, your freedom to find out who you are and what you're capable of is going to be affected by by being integrated with other human beings to a point where it affects your decision making in your life and where you want to go and how you want to change, and we're ever changing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what about kids whose parents are carnies and they grew up in the circus, or parents who are musicians and their kids grow up watching them travel the world, or basketball players?
Do you know why
players?
carnies have kids?
Because they have a lot of fucking unprotected sex.
Yes.
It doesn't mean because they have kids because they want. That's the thing. It's like, my thing is, what about, like, you know, famous basketball players, famous artists, musicians, people who like travel for a living, who tour?
I really think less people should have kids.
Coming from the man with how many nephews and nieces?
Yeah, listen.
He got 2 siblings and each one's got 26 kids.
Well, listen. Obviously, little Bronny is doing great. We're happy for little Bronny.
Yeah.
But when you're traveling like that for work,
yeah, half the year,
your kids ain't gonna see you so much.
That's fine. Well, here's my thing. So, what about, like, all right? So businessmen who travel and the wife is a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that. There's also people like my family. So my family, my parents own a company. They built a company together. And so I grew up my whole life. As soon as I could walk, I could work. So that was my lifestyle. So that's a little different than a lot of other kids.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm in one area, but I'm still doing something like working.
And that's probably that's great for your work ethic and your future going forward. I don't know how great it was for your childhood.
Traumatic.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're like, I understand. Why couldn't you have kids and just have them go through trauma? Sure you could. I'm saying. But why? You know, obviously, once you have the kid, you're like, oh, I'm so happy this kid's alive. But, you know, before you have the kid, you
have more freedom. I have a good point to that. I'll say this to you, because Easter, I was in Arizona with my family, and me and my cousin, we went outside to take a little smoke walk. You know what I mean? So we're walking outside, and he lives in an area where it's literally just desert around him. Like, the closest house is like 50 yards away. You know what I mean? It's like nothing but desert land. And so we're just smoking, blah, blah, and we're just talking, and I said, hey, wait up. You know what I noticed? We're the only ones in here that are old enough to have kids that don't have kids. And if you look around, and if you listen, you hear that? He's like, what? Exactly. You don't hear shit, motherfucker. You don't hear shit. You ain't got no responsibilities. We're talking because we didn't have anywhere to do or anywhere to go. He said, where do you want to go? I was like, you want to go strip club?
Yeah.
It was like, fuck it, we ain't got kids.
I think the point is that you make very well is kids getting away at strip clubs. But also, here's the thing. I believe that before anybody has kids, on purpose, they have to ask themselves one question: are you ready to give up your life? And if you're ready to give up your life, have kids. If you're not, don't have kids. Because here's the thing: there's no way a parent's not going to traumatize their child. Children are very sensitive, and we get traumatized very easily.
Everyone's traumatized. Shut the fuck up. Oh, my trauma. Shut the fuck up. We all have it.
We all have to work through it. But in the end, a child needs to know that they are prior to their parents, which means that you have to be able to give up your own life, so you got to ask parents that, and if parents say yes, they're willing to give up their own life, and then they take a 6-hour psychological profile, answer many questions, then go have kids. Otherwise, why? Because too many people have kids because they feel empty.
I had that problem once. I almost got kids. I didn't get them though. So it was senior year of high school. This girl I was dating. She's like, "Oh, I want to have kids. I want kids." And I asked her, "Why do you want to have kids?" Her response: "Because my family doesn't love me enough." I got the fuck
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
You're like, guess what? I got something in common with your family now. I'm sorry that you feel unloved, but please.
You're not gonna get more love.
Well, maybe your family doesn't love you because you're crazy. No. I wish. What was her name? Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I wish the best for her.
Yeah, I don't like to, like you got back into comedy because of your girl, and I actually started getting into comedy because I actually was dating a comic in college, and then I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So that was the funny part.
Well, yeah, I can do this because I want to. You know, people, I think, because when you say something like that, comics get offended.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think it's easy? No.
It's easy.
It's not that I looked at it and said I could do that.
Yeah.
It's that I looked at it and said I want to do that.
Yeah, I do that. Like Joe Biden, he always has things like, if you ain't ever thought about being a rapper, a singer, or someone famous, I'm not sure if you've ever really been a man. Because every man wants to be on stage.
Yeah. First it was a wide receiver, but then, yeah.
Oh, you know, football player, you want to be on the stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
we all want attention.
we all want attention.
Little boys want attention.
Especially the middle child. I'm technically, so my mom has 4 kids, so I'm 3 of 4, but she had 2 of her first husband, 2 of my dad. So I'm technically the first and second. So I'm a weird guy.
So you have some older child, some
Middle child vibes.
Some middle child vibes.
So I'm kind of loud. I'm very loud, but yeah, it's just fun. It's fun. But we've been here for almost 2 hours now. Thank you.
I think it's been great.
It's been great. So I want you. So this is gonna be out in about 3 weeks. So it's about January, February, March, April, May. In June, second week of June. It's gonna be out about the second week of June. So you, what's coming up recently around that time? So you're gonna do the roast battle at the Comedy Store.
June 15th.
June 15th. Yeah. So you're gonna
might be right on time. I don't know, but come down to not at the Comedy Store. I'll be doing roast battle at Jam in the Van.
Jam in the Van,
which is even more. It's like Comedy Store roast battle on steroids.
Yeah.
With a full band, and it's really actually a great show.
Where's that one at? What's
Jam in the Van? It's let's see. It's on Motor Avenue.
Motor Ave is, I don't even not Santa Monica.
I'm so bad at this. I'm new to LA.
Oh, you've been here for 3 years, bro.
Yeah, but so a lot of that was Corona. Jam in the Van. Yes, it's 3384 Motor Avenue, Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
It's a great venue. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And check out my
single.
My album Who Am I? My single White Light Black Light.
White Light Black Light
on Spotify. Maybe we'll play people off with it.
Mm-hmm.
Ephie Lowinger, you'll have that written down. The name.
Yeah.
They can read it. They'll read it. This will happen in the future. We're currently in the past, guys. Watch out. No, wait, we can't warn people from the past. We can't warn anybody about anything. We're useless. Why don't you guys warn us about something?
It's the prophets. If you warn someone from the past, then you're a prophet.
I'm a Jew. I can do profit. I can handle that.
So, Who Am I?
Who Am I? Name of the album.
And then comes to Jam in the Band.
Jam in the Band, June 15th. Also, if you're looking for an adorable rhyming children's book about bunnies who are using their father's pants to solve problems, it's called Trousers, and you can find it on Amazon.
Trousers.
I'm
going to have to bring you on the podcast next time so I can read the book.
Read the book.
And investigate you on the book.
Oh, absolutely. Do it. It's fine. It is, it's a great book. But we didn't talk about the children's author part of it. But.
No, but we're spending too much time talking about the great music career.
This is just part 1. We'll have more conversations in the future, I'm sure. I'll have you on my podcast.
Yes.
I don't have a podcast yet. But
when I get it. Because everyone in LA does.
That's right.
It's like, you know how everyone in the 90s was trying to open a bar?
Yeah. Bar and a coffee shop.
Bar and a coffee shop. And everyone's trying to start their own podcast.
Yeah. And Puppies and Apple Juice.
So thank you. This is going to be Puppies and Apple Juice.
Thank you.
This is going to be yours. So now we're just going to make objective noises and sounds and movements and play off. Bye, guys.
Grace of the ninja, I run hot and easily injured. Had more than 9 lives to binge on. Whoa. At their store and knock, they don't hear me. Not sure if they love me or fear me. Every time I make it, but barely. I understand the rules more clearly. I'm protected by the white light. I don't fight right, sleeping with the nightlight. Scared of the zeitgeist. I don't feel strong, someone got the deal wrong. Nothing's ever quite right, but I'm protected by the white light. White light. Protected by the white light. fist.